All right, problem 8. And on my screen again, let's see, that's showing up as 1.1.30. And so we're supposed to, it's got 6 parts to it. Whew. And we're going to sketch the graph, write the domain and range of it in inequality form. This time that's not the form with the intervals. So that's always important to know, remember which way you're doing it. And then explain the meetings, what are the intercepts. So first of all, just graph. And so if we look down here at the tools we have available, thought we could see this. We have a line. And let's see. If I put in a 0 here for my time, which is the x, d miles, t. So when t, the x is 0, that'd be up at 9 right there. And then if I put in a 1 here, that'd mean I would subtract 8, so I'd be down at 1. So when you put in a 1, we're down at 1. So that's how I would graph that. You can use lots of different other strategies, but let's see if that is coming out correct to start with. All right. So continuing on after that, use the graphing tool. We did that. The domain then, type in inequality for t. Now, the domain t, that means x. So that's like, because your time, right? T is the x. That's your input. T is hours. Time cannot be negative unless we're going to time travel. That'd be cool. But anyway, we're not. So it starts at 0 and it can equal 0. So that'd be like a square bracket. Oops, it said interval, not interval notation. It said use T. And then that's greater than the shift period and equals. If I want it to start at 0. Except it can't go where my distance is negative either. So when I get over here, this part is not included. So let's see. I need to back up here. And on this side of the t, let's go this way. T is greater than or equal to the 0 here when you read that backwards. And then it's less than or equal to whenever this becomes 0. So this where's my equation go? Right up here. If the left side is 0, the distance is 0. That's where my x-intercept would be right here. So if this is 0, and I subtracted 9 and divided by this negative 8, maybe if I write it, it will make more sense. So I'm going to solve for where this distance is 0. Because that's like my y, so that'd be this point right here. And so when I have that like that, if I think about this, I could add the 8t to the other side, divide by this 8. So it's 9/8. So what I want to hear is the 9/8 for the other side of this. So let me put a 9/8. And then I think we should have it because you can equal 0. Your time can be 0. Your distance can be 0. That'd be like when you arrived home or wherever you are away from, yeah, it said from home. So let's see how we did. Okay. So then they move on now and they say, well, what about for the range? That's the y's, remember? And in this case, that's your distances. But again, your distance cannot be negative. So this part of the graph is out. And then because over here, your time can't be negative. So it's just, what are these 2 times? And so right here, They say use a D as the variable there. So it's gonna, my distance, how low does it go? 0 up to how high? That was that 9, right? My y-intercept right there. So my distance went from 0. So reading this backwards so far, my distance is greater than or equal to 0. And then on the other side, but it's less than or equal to this 9 up here. For my, remember D here in this problem is like my Y. Maybe that's probably not a bad thing to write right on this graph. That was my distance, and this was my time. All right, let's see if I got that backwards in my thinking at all. Let's see how we did. All right, so far so good. Okay, now the next part, find the x-intercept. So my x-intercept, oh, that's this right here, when y is 0, right? So if this is 0, didn't I already solve that? I set that up right here. I must have erased it. When y is 0, 9 minus 8t, and I added the 8t over. And then I divided by that 8, so I had 9/8 for my t. So this is just a little more than 1. 9/8 is just a little bit more than 1. So that's my x-intercept. All right, so it says ordered pair. You always end up getting in a hurry and not doing what it says. So that was a 9/8. Arrow to the right to get out of that fraction, comma 0. Close that off. There's my ordered pair. The x-intercept does not exist. Well, it sure does. It's right there. All right, check that. Doing good. Now they want the y-intercept. That was easier because that was up here just at 9. So my y-intercept be at 0, 9. That's easier. And then what do those 2 points mean? Well, remember, this 9 is my distance. So, and it was about distance from home. So I started out 9 miles from home. And then when my distance down here was 0, that would be when I got home. That happened at 9/8. So the x-intercept is the distance. No, the y is the distance from home. It was 9 miles. And then the x, the 9/8 was t time, my x-axis. So that was 9/8 of an hour to, or just 1 1/8 of an hour to get home. I think that's it. All right. So hopefully that helps you on that one.